gray hair, I will humble myself and refer to my hair as gray, which it is, but it makes me feel old when I say that. So, gray hair, wow, what a trend. You know, I feel pretty darn lucky to have decided to be a gray-haired lady at this point in my life right now, and I didn't do it because when I didn't decide to go gray when it was a trend. I made this decision about 4 years ago or so, and I'll just start out by saying the reason I decided to go gray or silver is because, well, obviously I was coloring my hair. I had a lot of natural gray, and I started going gray at the age of about, well, in my early 20s, 22-ish. I remember sitting in my car at stoplights, and I'd be looking in my rearview mirror, picking out long silver hair, gray hairs, because I had long hair then. Naturally, I'm a brunette, just wore, you know, brown hair for a long time, and I would dye it brown probably about every, I don't know, 6 weeks to 8 weeks for a while in my 30s. And then in my 40s, I decided that I was going to get some blonde highlights. Well, what ended up happening was that I just kept getting more and more blonde highlights. And I even went as far as to use, what was that product that you'd spray in your hair in the sun? Sun-In? And I would I'd get my entire hair soaked with Sun-In, and then I'd blow dry it, and it would literally color my hair a lighter brown, and my hairdresser just about had a fit because she said that product isn't very good to use on your hair, but it was a phase, and I did it. Anyway, so when I was getting my blonde highlights, I just kept liking the blonde more and more. So over time, I became a bleach blonde. And I have to admit, I really went through a midlife crisis when I was around 40 years old, 40, 41. And at that time in my life, I was a blonde, and I was then having my hair done professionally. It started out, my hair was short and blonde, and then after I went all blonde, I grew it out, and I had long blonde hair for a while, and I really liked it. I wasn't a bleach blonde yet, but I was a blonde, and I liked it. But as time went on, and me drying my hair blonde and blow drying it and flat ironing it and curling ironing on all those things you do to your hair, eventually, and then I ended up cutting it because it was just pretty damaged after a while. I ended up cutting it, and by the time I decided that I could no longer bleach my hair, I was probably in my mid-40s, and the hairdresser said, "Lori, your hair is dead. You need to do something different now." And I was like, wow, my hair is dead. Like, I can't bleach my hair any longer. So we talked about it, and we decided that I would start dyeing my hair brown. And so I cut my hair short, not as short as this, but I did cut my hair short. And it was kind of a gradual thing, my going all brown, because for a while, like, I had her do low lights. So I had the blonde with the brown variegated in it, and I just did not like that at all. And so I had all these different colors and styles, and finally I decided that I was just gonna start dyeing my own hair brown because it's so easy, you know, save a lot of money on costs of doing my hair. So I started dyeing my hair brown, and it looked so much better. It was glossy brown, and it looked really healthy, and I was like, okay, this was the right thing to do. I was happy with it, no regrets. And I had it that way for probably about 6 months, but then, you know, just the coloring the hair every 4 to 4 to 5 weeks when you have dark brown hair now with a lot of gray growing in, a lot of gray roots. You have to grow or dye your hair regularly. So then I decided, I wonder if I'm ready to do the natural gray silver. Well, it made it a little bit easy for me because my sister had let her hair go in completely gray, and we look quite a bit alike. And I thought, okay, I'm going to try this. So I went to my hairdresser and we talked about it, and we talked about a process for how I would accomplish this. And what we ended up doing is he said, why don't you just stop coloring your hair, and what'll happen is your hair color will fade, and eventually your gray hair will start variegating into your natural color. Well, sure enough, it did. What my fear was, as is many people's fear, is if I stop coloring my hair, is it going to just be, like the strip of grow out with this long hair? Well, you've seen that and it looks terrible. It just looks awful. And so, I think the way that people avoid that is by deciding to do some color as you're growing the gray in, meaning now, since silver gray is such a trend, I think the hairdressers are getting better at the gray color. So if you are worried about a strip, they could maybe weave in some silver or gray into your hair as the grow out happens. I don't really know, but what I would suggest to you if you are considering going gray silver is to go have a chat with your hairdresser and just say, look, this is what I want to do. I want to try it. What do you think that we could do to make a plan for how this could play out? And they'll talk it through with you. Everybody's hair is different, depends on what color your hair is and how fast your hair grows and what they can do to help you accomplish your goal. So I just stopped coloring my hair, and sure enough, the brown faded and the gray started variegating in. And what I just kept doing is going back about every 4 weeks, and he just kept cutting my hair short to get that brown color off of there. And it took about 4 haircuts, maybe 5, because my hair grows pretty fast. My hair grows about a ½ inch about every 5 or 6 weeks. So, you might have to go pixie cut for a while. Why not? Your hair's gonna grow back. It just makes the process easier. And I don't know, that's what I would suggest. And so he just kept cutting, and my hair was very, very short. You think this is short? No, it was a lot shorter. And finally, we reached the point where my hair was completely my natural color. And that's good. It was an adjustment period for me. It did make me look older, I'm thinking. I would say that if I dyed my hair brown right now, I would look younger, but I've decided to keep my hair because it's so low maintenance and I kind of like the color. It's kind of a weird thing. And I don't want to say this and sound like I'm conceited or bragging in any way, but I want to tell you this. Maybe it's because silver hair is such a trend right now, but I get compliments on my hair everywhere I go. And it's a joke between me and my husband now. We'll go out to dinner or everywhere we go. I always get compliments on my hair. And I think it's because silver hair is such a trend, and they don't always say, I love the color of your hair. Sometimes they do. They just say, I love your hair. I use a silver shampoo, and I highly recommend, if you do have gray hair, that you use a silver shampoo. And the one that I use is called Shimmer Lights. This is the one. I have tried some others. I used a generic once, and I think I used a different brand once, and they tended to dry my hair out more, but this brand is a really good one. It doesn't really dry my hair out very much, and the silver shampoo, the purple shampoo, not silver shampoo, purple shampoo, it makes your hair, it makes the gray and the silver really, really shiny and bright, and it just takes out all that yellow and beige that your gray hair can have. I use the silver shampoo about 5 days a week. Most hairdressers say don't do that, you know, don't do it that much because it does turn your hair a purpley blue shade. And mine is pretty obviously a purple blue shade. I'm going to get a little bit closer. It can cross that line of, you know, gray silver to more of a purple blue tone. Personally, I'm kind of liking that tone on me right now. I wasn't sure exactly how that was coming across, but actually I was at Whole Foods yesterday, and the checker said, "Oh, I really like your hair." She says, "I like that kind of blue tone to it." And I'm like, okay, it's obvious my hair it's a little purple right now. It's a little blue. Maybe dial that back a little bit. But use your purple shampoo. There's also a purple conditioner that I don't use because it does tend to dry my hair out. I use the Tea Tree. This is just a cheap Trader Joe's tea tree conditioner that I've used for years, and I love it. It just accomplishes what I need for my hair, and my hair is quite coarse. You know, when you let your hair go gray, it's going to change the entire texture of your hair. It will make it thicker because gray hair tends to be more wiry and more coarse. So if you have a thin hair and you let your hair go silver gray, chances are your hair is going to be thicker, and you might like that. For someone like me, I have fine, thick hair. I also have naturally curly hair. And when I say curly, I mean ringlets, which is why I wear my hair short, because when my hair is long, it's huge and it just doesn't look good on me. And so I keep it in a pixie cut, and part of that is just so I can control my hair because it's completely out of control. If you want to, you know, do a pixie cut, just find a hair cut that you like. The thing about looking for haircuts that you like is when you see a haircut you like, block out the face of the person that's wearing that cut, because I found that a lot of times the pictures I was looking at, I liked the look of the model and her makeup and her face structure, and that's really not what it's about. You need to really just block that face out and look at that haircut and come to terms with, do I really like this cut or not? And even if you find one and you're not sure you would look good in it, take it to your hairdresser and you can probably design something that's close to that cut that would look good on you. All right, so the way I style my hair is, and today is not a very good hair day, you guys. It really isn't. When it's wet, I take a blow dryer and I start getting it going. I need height on my head, my face. If I wear flat hair, I look terrible. So I need some height up here. So I do the get it on top of my head thing. I would love to have a style where I could wear it straight down with a long bang, but I just can't do that. It just looks terrible. It drags my whole face down. So I don't have any product in my hair after I wash it. When it's still wet, I start just kind of, you know, using my fingers and getting the hair up like that, like I want it. And then I take the blow dryer and I do the sides with a brush, and I get the sides dry with a brush. And then I really use my hands, and I just kind of hold hair up, and I blow dry, and I hold it up with my fingers, and I blow dry, and I use a round brush and blow it. Because here's the thing, I have so many cowlicks. I have a really bad cowlick back here. I have it goes completely flat here. It goes completely flat here. So I have to try to fix that. I have a cowlick here now. The cowlicks are a nightmare. They're a total nightmare. So, you know, I have to work with it. After I get my hair all dry, then I take a flat iron, because my hair is curly, wavy. Take a flat iron and I flat iron it. You know, I don't really do the sides because they're too short, but I flat iron the top just to get the wave out, and I do that. And then this is the most important piece of hairstyling. The first thing that I begin to do with my hair is put a little bit of coconut oil in my hands and rub it in. A little bit goes a long way, so be very careful. Put coconut oil in the palm of my hand and on my fingertips. And then I just really get it all the way to the ends of my hair after it's dry, because it adds a lot of shine to the hair and it makes it less flighty, and it helps a little bit with the weird calyx. So use that on your hair to make it shiny. Even if you have long hair, put it on the ends of your hair and you will just be amazed. Again, a little bit goes a long way. And then the key thing for styling hair is product. And I use a product called Kevin Murphy, and I forgot to bring it in here to show you, but it's in a plastic square box. And there are different formulas of it. Mine is in a black box, and it's pretty condensed. It's like a condensed pomade kind of thing. It's not a waxy, it's more of a cream, but it's pretty sturdy. And a little bit of that goes a long way too, but I put that in my hand, and then I use it to piece and put it through my hair, and especially on top, to mold and craft this hairdo. And that is the absolute key. I could not have this hairdo if I did not use product on it. Period. End of story. It is all about the product. So I product it, and then I spray it a little bit with hairspray, because if you use the coconut oil and you do not put product and hairspray on it, it is going to go flat as a pancake. Do not do that. I learned the hard way. So put your product in and then just spray a little bit, and it'll just hold it all day, and it's not going to go anywhere. So I'll show you my hair, the top and then the sides. Again, right now my hair needs to be cut. It's grown out. It can't really grow any longer and have a style. I really struggled with it today a lot. It needs to be cut, it needs to be trimmed and shaped and everything. But the sides, and then, the back. And the back, you can see my weird cowlick. This is natural, dark down here. I don't have any hair color in my hair whatsoever. It just, the silver gray hasn't touched the back yet, and so it has some variegation to it, and I like that. Adds a little bit of dimension to my hair. So that's the silver gray thing. I just inspire you to go for it, because here's the thing: if you grow your hair out, cut it off, let it come in natural, play with it. If you don't like it, it's a grow out and a color. And that's another process, I get that. But you know what? Change is good. Change is really good. And how are you gonna know if you don't try it out? So try it out. Let 2019 be your year for a big change. So that's it for today. Until we meet again, I wish you love and blessings, and thank you for tuning in. Until we meet again. Bye. you.